Gold Trip up to Numerian Knight's Order, and then came Durston getting out. Gold Trip, 100 metres to go, just in front. Durston is coming at Gold Trip and got up. Durston has got up to win it for Mickey D.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot, and I'm joined in studio, master punter John Walter. How are you?
Master punter.
Winner. You won. You won the tournament. You won Augusta.
I thought there was more. Isn't there not more? Doesn't it just keep going? Or is that it?
That's it. It's done.
Now, what have I got to do?
Retire.
Now I've got to do GoFundMe so I can get over there.
If you're going to retire from streams, you have to have a press conference.
No, you only have to have a press conference when you're backing and laying and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful. So I'll stay away from press conferences.
I don't think you're going to be retired. I'm going to get a cage match sorted with you and Gordo from Racing Rant, and that'll get you out of retirement. How are the boys down in sunny Melbourne?
Well, spot on, Scoot. We're beautiful sunny weather down here. We're going all right, except that, as usual, Nico, bloody rain's coming again.
Yep. Sunny, but 30 mil predicted in the next 2 days. That's always good, isn't it? So
and during, it looks like you're trusting the bomb, but during the meetings, that's the worst thing. Going to be rainy during tomorrow night and during Saturday afternoon. So that's not ideal. But anyway, we're used
probably
to it now.
the worst track for that to happen to in Melbourne. Like, it's so old, that Moonee Valley track now.
Well,
it just can't handle rain in the meeting.
Yeah, Marty's saying he's in, because they did they've done some works on it over that break and everything. He says it has helped and he's in good order, but it's still old.
A big buyer beware for betting early, that's for sure. At the Valley, we're still going to preview amazing Cox Plate racing and also the Spring Champion on Saturday. But just quickly in the rearview mirror, Little Birdie Master Punter. For those that missed it, we just got a graphic up on screen now. Walt was too strong, 51,851 from a starting bank of 25,000. And then he defeated Johnny McLeod, 23,250. So both punters were having a pretty good day. And then Johnny McLeod tried to have a real big swing in the last race at Eagle Farm and just missed out there. And yeah, just a little bit disappointing for, I guess, both betting banks that the second horse didn't win there. I think the horse was scored indiscreetly, but it was a spirited contest. It was an epic. It was 6.5 hours. And I think one of the highlights for me, not just the stream, was we went out for dinner. We went to the Graham Hotel. And I tell you what, there was this young fella dragging a bird home at about 11:30 or midnight. And no word of a lie, he goes from walking inside to it to turning around like he was like absolutely frightened. He said, "Hey, that's you, Walt. You legend. I saw you in the stream." He said, "Well done, mate." So, mate, you're starstruck already. So it would have been a tip.
I wish he was lying. I wish he was lying.
That's true,
it actually
wasn't it?
happened. Oh, my God. One person in the street, it was like whatever time it was at night, it was 4 degrees. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing ever. And he was the only one that got lucky that night.
It was a sight to behold. I think you missed that, DK. I don't know where you slipped off to, but that was sensational. But I tell you what, if you're not a believer of, I guess, the ability of all four boys in the stream, and especially Walt kicking home that, you'll never be. The punting was just ferocious, and it was insane. Really, it was just a cracking Saturday, really. And the Everest was, I guess, finally lived up to be a race. It looked like for a long time in the build-up that it was just going to be a one-horse race, but Giga Kick just jumped out of the ground, and obviously Walt's horse Private Eye licking our wounds there. But I'm not sure what the ROI is on Everest Day, but they finally put something together. And
I was thinking they might produce some ROI on what we had to do. No, nothing. Just, bread and butter figures up on a screen. You could go deeper, profit on turnover, something, how we break it down to states. You could have provided some, insight into how we actually went, but no, that's not Nick's go.
Too many winners. You just couldn't miss, I think, for the first.
Old mate up the street, he wants all that. He wants to know.
1 million winners. We'll post it out there. But
how many winners did you back for charity?
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, well done.
Terrible, isn't it? It just happens every time we do a stream.
There was one race there where I was like, I half needed a result,
horses.
And you backed 2 of them. I'm like, oh no, I'm off here. So yeah, it's just you don't really want to speak up because you are the voice of death.
Well, it's terrible. We backed one of John Kelton's. It ran last, which just never happens. And then the other horse, Catalyst, it had a cardiac arrhymia. So
killed it as well.
There's 2. So we've killed 2 for charity. So I'll tell you what, generous of TopSport putting on the prize and putting up those charity bets. But tell you what, we definitely butchered them. So we might have to go back to the crowd to try and back a winner, because definitely we made an absolute meal of it in the stream room. But boys, Geelong Cup, it was definitely suns out. Would have been absolutely sensational to just absolutely let rip down at Geelong Cup. Emissary, can we see it threatening in the Melbourne Cup, Nico?
No.
No, I think it's, 25-1 or 30-1 chance after that win, and he'll get a penalty to get in. It wasn't a bad Geelong Cup as far as Geelong Cups go, was it? Like, we've had some weak ones there with small fields, and it wasn't a bad effort to round them up. But
it was a good effort, but the way the race is sort of shaping up, I think you're going to, the market is saying that these internationals coming over are probably much better than our horses already. So you're going to have to be doing better than winning a Geelong Cup by sort of a length. Surefire ran well. Interpretation was probably not ridden to his strengths again, but I don't know if he's much good. Tough day out at Geelong. I'm happy to put that in the rearview mirror for sure. It was a long drive home.
No joy, Nico.
A lot of
joy.
I think I didn't turn the radio on or anything on until I got out of Geelong, which is about sort of 25, 30 minutes from the track.
The old mind.
Just sat there in the silence.
Soul searching.
Yep.
Those days they happen, mate.
Surefire, Walter, you to kick it out of bed finally?
Surefire. Oh, he just pulled his head off the whole way and only got beat a length. So I'd say that form's absolute crap. I'd say he's sort of come to the end of his prep and still nearly got away with it. So if that horse wins the Melbourne Cup, as I said, Petey Bell's probably right. Just bar the race, turn it into the Richie Callander handicap or something, and make a real race of it.
I tell you what, there was some big statements last week on Bet Doctor, and then I sort of followed up with one as well. But you got very lucky. Let's talk about the Caulfield Cup form. I think you said you'd give DK a reach around and a polish and all this sort of stuff if Gold Trip won. I tell you what, gave it the Friday life, and Durston scratching only got in with a scratching, and it was just the weight swing was just too strong, and maybe just failed to run out the strong 2400. But you got lucky.
Who backed? You backed
the winner.
Oh, sorry, backed the winner, and
so did I.
It didn't win. And has Berno finished yet? Richie, Berno finished yet? No.
I don't know.
We pulled up lame.
Crikey.
Lame. Yeah, lame. It was lame.
Got lucky again.
It was lame. It's like, forgive Benno. It just maybe it'll win the Melbourne Cup.
You won everything except for the Everest, didn't you?
Sickening. Quaddies and everything. And what was the race that I unloaded on? Yeah, you got it. The Everest. Yeah,
another great advertisement for weights are the basis of racing. What was the weight swing between Gold Trip and Smoke and Romans again? And how far did Gold Trip beat Smoke and Romans home?
To be fair, Smoke and Romans wasn't given the greatest chance to sort of be in the race, but it's probably a bit overplayed.
Don't talk about Rachel Carr or Jamie King like that, all right? don't talk about her in negative light, otherwise I start getting trolled.
Okay, so obviously Montefiore has gone amiss, or is
no, she's not. It's all good. That was it was all false mail. I think it's all good.
Is it going on the Melbourne Cup
so.
now?
Yeah, I think it's all good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gee, they got that wrong.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
I think that was a tweet from last year, which has just caught a few of us out.
Yeah, got recirculated.
2021.
Jesus,
that like April Fool's Day in October.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a low blow. I've missed a trick there. All right, so Caulfield Cup form. Is there any horses that can win the Melbourne Cup out of that? Nico, first.
Jewess. I thought she ran really well. Hit the line. Again, another slowly run race. I think Ed Cummings is probably right. She's just crying out for a faster run race. Looks like they've really just set her for one race. So, I imagine if you're betting in the Cup, I think you just got to back Jewess.
Oh, I'll go apples to apples. I don't know if he can win, but he's in terrific form. He's bound to declare.
Yep.
And he's track and distance. Apples to apples, punters will love that. So he's going terrific.
He did have his birthday to win the race a couple of years ago, though. Douay, your team Douay, you're going to just kick up and say?
I won't double down on the reach around, but if anything beats Knight's Auto out of that Cup, something's happened. It's died in the run. Knight's Auto will be beating them home with another 800 metres to go.
It was probably not Timmy's best ride, but I think it was a cracking run, and I think Knight's
I thought he rode it absolutely perfect, but it's just, the horses around him were... You've just got a better turn of foot when they get out to 3,200. I don't think turn of foots are going to come into play.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to jump off Douay?
I never was on. Not done in the Melbourne Cup. Never. I thought that if it was going to win a race, it was the Caulfield Cup. But, a few things went against it on Saturday. I don't know. I don't know about Douay, and it's racing pattern. Where's it going to be?
That's okay. I think it doesn't bother me. I think those two are the two to take out. Cup week. Me and Donnie got a little bit of a special here. Walt's done the graphics here. He's been really kind to us. We've got a Cup week punters club, so we're going to get the Little Birdie app absolutely firing here. We're going to close the bank, so it's open now. There's already some cash in there, which is brilliant. And then so we're going to have a rolling punters club. So follow it all on Little Birdie app. You can jump in the Discord chat room. Once upon a time in Flemington, you got Donnie there as Leonardo DiCaprio, and you got me. It's Brad Pitt. And then we're going to go Derby, Cup, Oaks, and Stakes Day. So this one, we're going to open it or start betting for Derby Day. And then we're just going to keep it rolling and building. So we're just going to sniper style, pick the eyes out of all the markets for a week, and then we'll pay out after Stakes Day. So it's going to be 4 big days of the carnival and everywhere and anywhere in between. So it's going to be patient betting, but we're going to pick off TopSport wherever we can.
Wow.
Hey?
Wow.
Alana saw it and she said, you got to grow your hair long. I said, I'm not going to do that.
You've picked the 4 hardest days in the world. You've picked the worst graphic that's sort of least representative of the 2 people involved. You're under the pump.
Do you reckon we'll win?
Will you win? Not for charity.
We might have to put a charity element in, but everyone's happy to contribute there from the shows if they got a hot one or a rort. I think, DK, on
there's not enough handicaps Cup week for Scooty.
No, you've got to hang on to Lakes Day. There's normally 2. There's Warrnambool.
The Cup's the only handicap.
Yeah.
There's enough.
No, there's plenty of out wide joints on there that week, so I'll flick something through to your Scooty, maybe.
There's about 80 meetings on. How many Melbourne Cup Day? How many meetings are there around the country?
Oh, there'd be, covered like race meetings. I don't know, but
you've got to actually drive there to fucking bet on them.
Get the keys.
Did that once. Drove to Wangaratta, Melbourne Cup Day, and did me absolute kyber. That was good. 3 hours.
Went to Tamworth one day to back on. Actually, when old Timmy Bell was still alive, and that Border Rebel, he was a good horse. I'm sticking looking up when Hellraiser Boy was the name of the goddamn horse I went to back at Tamworth. So I'm scared to look how long ago that was. I'm not even going to look it up.
The other pearl is bookies will be asleep at the wheel. So if it'll pay to just do a little bit of out wide form that day, you might be able to sneak up on them when they're not looking.
And bookies will be asleep at the wheel. They'll bet you to win $500 and then slash the price. It should be awesome.
Especially, I tell you what, it'll be frantic around Melbourne Cup time. So if you want to try and put a bet through, just do it 10 minutes before the Cup and they won't even see it go through. Little Pearl. All right, TrackScran this week, the runner-up, Extortion at Horsham, I'm going to call this, $15 for 6 dumplings from our old mate Juppy. I tell you what, DK, that is absolute crap.
Lucky he's got old Love's credit card, isn't it? Lucky he's got old Natalie's credit card to swipe through. Otherwise, he would be in a coma.
He's a dumpling man too, Juppy. He's got the air fryer at home. When he was driving the dump truck, he'd call in at home, get the dumplings out of the freezer, put them in the air fryer, and even so he's a dumplings connoisseur, Juppy. I'm surprised he didn't put where's the balaclava in that one as hashtag or something. But as we said, you've got to get past that. You're a dumpling person, rather than buying them like that. You've got to get through the frozen section of the supermarket and always take a peek and see if Diana Chan or the KBs are on the special, because that is value. They're about 30 cents each rather than $2.50 each there, whatever the markup is on that.
I did say have them. Beck makes them from the Waxman thing. I have about 30 of them.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't.
You're all or nothing on the food. Have you got an air fryer?
30. Yeah. Actually, I thought I'd blow the house up the other day. Beck's like, oh, can you make things? Beck's sister's sick. Can you make some hash browns for the little bloke? I'm not touching that thing. She's like, open it, put it in, turn it to 15. You're done. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I could be on MasterChef next year now.
I tell you what, if you haven't got an air fryer, I've only had one for a couple of years, but they are absolute Mickey Mouse. Barely use the microwave and everything comes back real crispy and toasty.
Nice.
I'm a big fan. Juppy got me onto it. I think we're looking for an air fryer sponsor for the show. So if you know anyone, we're looking for a sponsor for air fryers.
You need the big one too, like the 4 litre. You don't want the little ones.
Yeah, you need a big one. You need to put a full lot.
Put a roast chook in those ones,
exactly.
Can't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put a jockey in there if you have to.
They're bomb-proof. The winner for TrackScran, at TrackScran on Twitter, is the fried chicken burger and slaw. This looks absolutely tasty. But I don't know about the 4 for $44, the Hahn super dry cans. That's speaking about extortion at Horsham. That's bad going at Randwick.
I wouldn't mind a close-up of the chicken too. It looks like it's been cooked about 13 times as well. I think it might have gone early here.
No, I reckon it's grouse up for $16.50. So at TrackScran, submit and then hit us a DM on Little Birdie with what you've put in, and we'll give you a free trial of one of our subs.
So I was going to say, out of control retail prices for beer and stuff. Like I had a drink the other day at the pub, and I said, "Give us one of them Peronis or something." The bloke said, "Give us $14.50." $14.50 for a beer. Unreal.
Mm. That's crazy for a stubby. You get a slab for $60.
It wasn't a stubby. It was a big glass or something, but still fucking $15, please.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely gone. Me and Skate get 20% off using the code Little Birdie. It was probably the edge. Walt was fully shaved down. He got John McLeod. He's got the biggest calves on the planet, John McLeod. So if he wanted to shave his legs, he could do it faster with a Manscaped lawnmower. So type in the code Little Birdie, spelt exactly how he spelled the show, and you get 20% off. It's Christmas just around the corner. If you got your old man or a cousin or a brother or a Chris KK, make sure you check out Manscaped, get the code, and it's an absolute beauty. The weed whacker, up the beak, clear the runways. It's perfect stuff for summer silly season.
Not Ku Klux, that's Chris Kringle, is it? It's not Ku Klux. I thought you were heading down a dark path there.
Yeah, mate, Krispy Kreme now. You can get Krispy Kreme
as well
at Macca's. Donuts.
Oh, I thought you've never had one.
Oh, no, I know. I might get one.
Oh,
I've never had one. We saw him at the airport when we flew back from Melbourne. That's why we're talking about it. Today's show's going to be a beauty. Don is good. I tell you what, he just tried to go bang with one dart Stella Magic. The McLeod boys penned it from the yard, and it went like
that was our best result. Both of us, we backed the 15-1 winner.
Went like a bastard.
Poor old Donny.
Poor old Donny got stabbed in the back. So I think he's going to go a little bit wider. He's going to have a 2-bet strategy this week. Spring champion, the invitation, the Kenny Callander and Max Presnell for Walt. Sydney Racing is back. Tell you what, one sunny day in Sydney, what a difference it makes. But there's rain forecast yet again. The TopSport Steamers got close. Jack and O last week, and Kiss Sun ran really well, but still didn't get the chockies. Always interested to see what's doing early with those. The delay of the week, I think we got another one, Scratch Old Flame. So we'll find one this week. It might be Animo. Might try and get him beat.
Good luck.
Hey?
Get a beat. It would be hard to get out of top 2. You would get a beat, but he might get top 2.
What? You got peas for nuts or what? You got to get the elephant balls out, mate. You got to have a go.
Might be some big statements here. I put the peroxide here on the line. I think DK,
you're
you might have to do
peroxide,
something.
mate. There's too much of it been leaking through the skin.
Well,
you should be giving
up the same thing
peroxide,
about you
mate.
as in the reach arounds. And
yeah, well, I'd much rather be that done. You know, whatever. Shut your eyes, pretend it's not happening. Other than look in the mirror for 3 months while you look like Eminem.
All right, we might have a couple of
What was the lay last week? What was last week's thing?
Old Flame got scratched.
Oh, got scratched.
He started to pick scratchings now, things he knows are going to come out so that he doesn't have to deal with the pressure.
We're just like most of the horses that we lay are in blue. They either got Godolphin or
that's good because their strike rate's about 84%. Yeah, awesome.
TopSport take our bets and they'll let you on to win 5K all the Group 1s. I tell you what, the customer service is impeccable. Their website is on fire and you'll get paid straight away. So none of this in the abyss. Just stick to who you trust and who you know will just get the job done. So make sure you support topsport.com.au and give them a go this week for the Cox Plate. I see they're aggressive a couple of horses yesterday. They're taking a bit of a stand, a couple of favourites yesterday at Geelong and Wagga. So it's good to see the boys having a crack at some of the favourites there. Nico, I tell you what, Geelong yesterday, and then you got the double header, Friday, Saturday. It's a nice little hit out before Cup Week to prime yourself. It's $149 your mounting yard mail set, so that's great shopping. So you're going to get a ton of content there for the next couple of weeks to help you through. So I think the Valley and the Flemington tracks are definitely up your alley. So it's definitely one to pick there, the Telegram group. But Manikato Stakes Night Friday night, and as we said before, definitely a weather watch here. And the first race that you're going to have a look at here is race 3. The Seppelt Wines Country Cup Final is Voltan 440, Stylish Enough 480, Demando $5, Diesel and Dust 7, Rattle and Bang, named after DK $8, and then Legend of Zorro $850 and Sam's Image $850. That's the horse in the market, but Stylish Enough with Screechy Meechy is the one you like here, Nico. He's last start replay now.
This is probably the worst race of the carnival, but if there's one thing DK's taught me, it's all winners pay the same. So we're going to be betting here. Stylish Enough here in the Purcell colours. Jumps to the front, takes the lead here. Interesting enough, the favourite in this race is behind her, Voltan, in the yellow colours, and can't sort of reel him in. His recent form has been outstanding. Sort of, I think, 8 of his last 9 starts, he's running the top 3. So he's absolutely flying. I thought this was a pretty good win. He's very good when he can sort of control the race and get up on speed. I don't know if he'll find the control here because Rattle and Bang's drawn inside him or outside him, probably has to cross him. But Rattle and Bang did miss the start the other day at Moe. So maybe if he sort of misses it, Linda goes straight to the front, finds the fence, or she's the outside lead at worst. He's a very good wet tracker, this horse. If the rain sort of does come and we're dealing in a sort of soft track early in the program, he is very deadly on those wet conditions. And I think in a real purple patch of form. 1200 seems to be sweet spot. He doesn't seem like he gets much further, but his record at 1200's very good, especially recently. And I just thought there's everything in his favour to be running a big race here. The track's probably going to be on speed Friday night, so I doubt you want to be backing too many horses that are going to get too far back. I thought 480, he should definitely be favourite. You could mark him much shorter, and if he finds the front, I think he'll win.
Found the weakest race and found the moral. Hopefully the rain come. I think it'll come heavily by the look of the forecast, up to 15 mil forecast. DK, you got anything to add there?
No, nothing to add there. No. Let's go to the next.
Your favourite, the Manikato, race 7 over 1,200 metres, Group 1. It's Paulelli, $3.70. Coolangatta, $5. Bella Nipotina, Mr. Lawson's horse, $5.50. Rothfire, $6.50. Best of Bordeaux, won a waltz, $12. 11.11, $16. September Run, $19. Horse like the Astrologist, Rock on Horse, Behemoth. Horse that we've potted a few times. Then In the Boat, the Inferno, Jamea, won a waltz. And I'm not going to bother talking about any of the rest here. But let's roll through a couple of the replays here. And the first one we're going to have a look at is the Moya, the 1,000 metre. So you've just got Coolangatta controlling up in front. You've got Generation in behind. You've got Bella Nipotina doing some work and in a bit of a bumping duel with Rothfire. Dives late, Bella Nipotina, but doesn't quite get her. It's going to be a different kettle of fish going to 1,200. Nico?
Yeah, completely different. And Coolangatta had everything in her favour this night. Sort of found the front, didn't go too fast on the sort of monorail up the fence. It was very hard to sort of get back and make ground. Paulelli's since come out of that race and won. Rothfire was very well supported in the betting there and sort of looked like he would be suited getting to 1,200 metres. So Bella Nipotina, I think, went up favourite around 420 and she sort of drifted back out. But I would sort of be expecting a few of those will turn the tables on Coolangatta at 1,200, although she is in very well at the weights with only 51 kilos and does get a similar setup, drawing barrier 1 again. They were kind of coming at her late. I think at the end of a strong run, 1,200, she could be a little suspect.
Interesting one with Paulelli here. You just, in the last, 300 metres, you see it get hit over the nose. It was a bit like Johnny McLeod. He just whacked Walt over the nose after the first race at Brisbane last week and certainly woke him up. But you see Paulelli in this, I think the Caulfield sprint here over 1,100 metres. He really found the line here just in behind him. So it was actually not a bad win all told and just showed a fair bit of character. And I think the Godolphin Yard are just trying to find the Group 1, tick the Group 1 box with Paulelli there. But yeah.
Seriously, watching
it
both
was at the 100 too. It was like at the 100.
How gone are these races? It just they look like they're rocket horses, and these are our best sprinters. They look like rocket horses coming up the straights.
Well, they're the B graders because all the best sprinters went to the Everest.
Yeah, that's right. But what are they? That's right. Like Giga Kick, okay, is a really good win, but all that nature strip form looks crap. All this bloody St Melbourne form looks crap. There's just not much between them, is there? Like
Best of Bordeaux, he could be back. Let's have a look at his replay. Last time we put the knife into him and it was off a bit of a setback, 28 days, and maybe is he just a wet tracker, Walt, or are they no good? What's the
same
theory?
Sort of story, isn't it? Like, what do you do? What do you do with all this form? Like Sweet Ride's, I think, in this race, it's in another race, and it's 50-1, sort of looms up to him here. He certainly had every possible chance here, apart from the setup that he had coming off a virus or whatever. And what does he do here? He's probably the interesting horse in the race, I guess. Can he cross him?
The barrier looks tough for him. Like he's drawn 14.
I thought it was
Timmy's going to have
perfect barrier, just quietly. Only because there's only one leader, isn't there? Astrologist. Who else can lead?
Coolangatta
will be up there from 1. She'll punch.
She won't want to lead over 1,200, I don't think. If she leads, that's it. It's all over. It's 5,000 to 1 chance.
Pick up and let him cross, maybe.
Maybe she takes a box seat. Yeah, I just thought maybe like that was a really slowly run race there. Obviously on a wet track, so you got to factor that in. But just how quick he's going to have to go in front here to potentially, at weight for age. It's never run slowly, the Manikato. I could see that there is an angle that he's got potentially more upside than a few of these, and he might be sort of hitting his best now. Looks like he's sort of peaking now. Looks like they've peaked him to get to his best sort of 4th up in this or the Coolmore. So, 17s into 12s is an interesting move, but I was kind of looking at more of the older horses here. I was probably against both the 3-year-olds. I think Bella Nipotina gets a soft run.
I just want to pull you up for a sec. Tim's also going to throw in a change of tactic. What he's going to do is he's going to come out waving the whip, yelling out "Giga kick, Giga kick, Giga kick," and that's his change of tactics. Is that upset? Does that change your thinking?
You're obviously pointing that to Jamie Carr.
I didn't say that,
but that's what I'm. I'm reading in between the lines there, and you're just trying to. Well, shit. They should take a box seat and just not participate. If that's
does that change Nico's market? Is all I'm interested. I'm not worried about what you think. I'm asking, does that change Nico's idea?
It helps even more. You'd pen it even further, then, wouldn't you? Coolangatta, but there's plenty happening in this race. It does, if you can run on. It kind of looks like Palaley's race. Gets a 1200, good win last start. Likes Moonee Valley. He's sort of ticking all the boxes. J-Mac. I'll tell you what. If you can run on. Like, it's going to have to be wet and the rail to chop out, which I don't know what happened, but Behemoth is back. He had a recent trial. They put the blinkers on him, and he absolutely flew. Like, I think it's the best I've ever seen him trial. He will run a race there Friday night. He might be charging home for fifth, sort of down the outside lanes. You might not be able to get a collect out of him, but at $31, I think you got to have something on him.
Oh, it's taken him so long to throw these shades on. You know, he said he's been thinking about it and stuff, and now it's sort of getting the last gasp sort of thing rather than maybe he hasn't needed them before. But anyway, love the shades.
He was switched on in that trial. Absolutely, just looks like he's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, just the map.
Behemoth wins at Manikato. Then PVL he'll get it through Parliament. They'll put the wall up. Even Donald Trump, mate, they'll put the wall up. Mexico will be segregated forever.
It's at least with Behemoth, Nico. It's the price that you take a risk, like $34. You only have to have an absolute cashew nut on to have a throw at the stumps there. And you
can't get involved for the max in the race and not have something on him at 30s or 40s or 50s late. Like, you just got to have something on there.
Hopefully,
Palili's dead set the only horse you can back. Surely, like it's the only horse that hits the line in the race.
I thought there was only 3 chances, in Paleli, Bella, and then Best of Bordeaux, but I don't know. I haven't had a good look at it.
I thought September Run wasn't a bad roughie. She got sort of held up badly in the Moya. Good record at Moonee Valley, and then recent jump out was very, very good at Flemington. So again, map, but she's sort of overcome it before and won similar races. So deep race, you could make a case for plenty. Rothfire's not out of the game, but I didn't really find an angle, to be honest. Just sort of spewing for the sake of it.
Could be Leaders Paradise, Moonee Valley, and just be careful with Moonee Valley. You don't want to bust up on Moonee Valley on the Friday night, have no chips to play with on Saturday, and then again, don't blow your bank to pieces. Wait for Flemington because there's just so much racing in the next 2 weeks. Don't just go off too hard too early.
A little aside, say that Tim comes out screaming after the race, a bit of action, a bit of fire up in the bed. Who do you back in a 1 round UFC fight there? Tim Clark or Jamie Carr?
Yeah, well, it's not a fair contest.
Jamie, just knock him straight out? Yeah, I agree.
Oh, this is what we deal with.
He's got too much weight in his backside, Tim, so you just tap him on the chin, he just goes over, back ass over.
I don't drink water out of the tap here because I tell you what, long-term tap water drinking up in the Gold Coast sends you absolutely crackers.
You got to know these things.
A filtered water jug. This is what you need to get. Saturday at the Valley is a cracker. I've thrown in this one, the Vase, because this is a really good lead up usually to the Derby. Or maybe not this year because Peter Volandis has jacked the prize money up on the Spring Champion, and there's just talent sort of scattered everywhere now. Berrick-Healy Square is the favourite here, 220. Virtuous Circle is 460. Pericles is, I think that's how you say it, 650. Jenny Jerome, $9. Vegeta San, 11. Berardino, 13. Dashing, 21. Sabali, 21. And then Skifios, 34, who's first up in the Guineas, probably wasn't suited there. And then Got to Be Savvy, 61, and better the rest. Any thoughts here? It'd be interesting to see what they do with Barkley or Berrick-Healy Square here. I thought Barrier 7. Craig rides the Valley quite well. Thoughts, Nico?
Yeah, I think he'll push forward from 7. I could see him 1 out, 1 back, 2 pairs back, 1 off. I was nearly going to tip this on the show. I think he'll be very hard to beat there Saturday. I think he's bang on his right price at 220. He'd like to get a little bit better. I just don't know whether the market kind of finds one. Maybe they find a good Godolphin horse. It looks poorly set up, sort of 14 out to 2,000 on potentially a wet track. So, yeah, I think Berkeley Square is definitely your winner. I think I would sort of be tipping this may be the lead up to the Derby. If these two back up, Berkeley Square and Virtuous Circle. I think Virtuous Circle is definitely sort of top seed for the Derby at the moment. I think he's the horse that's looking for the 2,500 quickly. J-Mac sticks here. I think he'll be the danger to Berkeley Square, but I think Berkeley Square just might have a bit more talent over 2,000, but in the Derby, I'd probably switch him. So Skyfierce isn't a bad sort of rough chance to run a race here and then sort of back up into the Derby, and so is Sir Bailey. So I'd be tipping this Vase form is pretty strong for next week, but Berkeley Square probably should handle them on Saturday.
Skiffios was a horse that I sort of found. DK, you got any thoughts here?
Oh, not really. Just no one I want to see. Those horses got. I mean, Grand Pierro's got real stamina. That's what from yesterday. That's what's going to hold him. You got to run the 2,500 and be strong. So, and the betting, like what was the betting? The betting that favourite yesterday, let's roll the dice and Grand Pierro, they were 220 and 460. And here the two favourites are 220 and 460. So, with the strong horse being able just to be if you're going to take on a favourite, you want something with a bit of strength. And Grand Pierro outpunched him yesterday, a bit stronger. Anyway, but Berkeley Square, I'm still not over it beating me on debut, but now I feel better about it. I did a fortune on that Legio 10, which is first up somewhere, isn't it? Or in somewhere in the next couple of days.
He's no star, is he, old Legio?
No.
How were you after you saw the Captain Envious result early in Geelong there, DK? I put a bit of a call out.
Yeah, that was good. No, I was lucky. I was yesterday. I was the parent helper on the Grade 3 for St Martin's excursion to the MCG, which was fantastic. Actually, I tipped on that the tours of the MCG and all that, and I flicked it on once. I said, I'm not looking at anything. I flicked it on once. As what's Scooty saying here? Captain Envious just won by 2 links at $12. Yeah, that was good. So I never looked at the phone the rest of the day. I just enjoyed me running around chasing kids all day around the MCG. That was good, but Isaac and his mates. But anyway, yeah. But that's it. That was apples to apples. Didn't it go there 2 starts ago to the track and distance and win by 4 links? So I mean, and it's all in hindsight. But
what can you tell?
Any other jabs for DK before you want to get off? You want to stab him in the back?
Trying to jab everyone. I'm trying to punch everyone. Pericles, what's this Sydney horse with Jamie Carr on?
What race is it in?
In the
that 2,000 metre race?
Yeah.
It'll smash him.
650.
It'll smash him. It's a better horse than them. Just a matter of whether that heavy track horse run killed him the other day. Smash him.
So if it's alive, it will win.
And who is on it? Rachel Carr.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Jamie Carr.
She could be arrested after that. What is that after the Manikato?
The day after.
The day after. Well, we'll see. I'll be waiting and seeing what unfolds on Friday night. I'll have a good look at that race. I didn't know it was in. Thanks for not telling me.
He's fizzed up.
Isn't the Cox Plate on? Is the Cox Plate actually on?
Well, that's right. They publish the fields on Wednesday, so you can have a look at them.
It's a big,
do the show to preview
task.
them.
650 is a bit. You should be getting better than 650.
Let's have a look at the Cox Plate. Hopefully,
finally.
When's the Cox Plate
about all these?
Okay,
he's just getting a clear one.
Animo.
Up.
Oh, yeah. I found the winner.
They call it.
Oh, guys, come on, Scoot. Let's go.
They're changing its name to Danamo on Saturday.
I don't know what's going to happen with this track by the time all the rain hits. It's going to be.
Won't matter. The winner won't matter.
Oh, here we go.
The better for this thing.
Animo $2.40, Zaki $4, El Bogadon $8.50 into $7.50 on Thunderstruck 13, Alligator Blood 14, Gold Trip 14, Mr. Brightside 15, Moanga 31, Laws of Indices 34, Maximal 61, Young Werther 61, and Profondo $71. All right, let's do some replays and probably don't need them, but Might and Power lead up. Do you want to talk to us about this one, DK? You seem like you got a head of steam here.
Oh, yeah, well, what Benno, I'll agree with Walt now, he's no good. So he, gets beaten 2 links. Nonconformist gets beaten 2 links. Yeah, you'll either say you're tipping this form or it's no good. I'm going to side with Walt. I'm going to say they're all much of it, there's, how much is between the first 3 there? Not much between them. The whole field goes over the line together. It ain't much of a form reference. I'm going to side with that anyway. That's what I'm thinking about that. Anyone disagree? You would disagree, Walt?
No, I agree.
He's
wow. Okay, so then here's El Bogadon. It's last 400
like the name.
In the Great Voltiga. And
what
then
does it actually mean?
Duvel Legend.
The bog? Is it the toilet or something? What is it?
Not sure. Well, you won the John off last week. So here's Duvel Legend just going past it. And that's my concern. If I'd rather probably back Duvel Legend to win a cup, this stayer, rather than El Bogadon sort of whacking away there over the 2400. Maybe doesn't run the 2400, but
on the inside?
Yeah, then the green on the inside. I'm a bit nervous about this El Bogadon. It's got my favourite jockey on it, D. Oliver. Where's it going to get to? Not sure.
Up there. We'll go forward. It'll stay the trip. It loves the conditions. And I'll tell you something. I saw that thing work at Breakfast with the Best. So it's only a little horse, right? Little horse. It scooted around that track. And then there it is on those big flat decks over there against horses who are suited on big flat decks. And he's only a little thing. So he comes to this bloody greyhound track, Moonee Valley. It's going to be so well suited. He's going to be on pace. They're all worries at the end of 2000. He's going to stick. And the conditions, the weather it gets, if the conditions worsen, it's going to be right up his alley. And he's the fresh blood. He's that, imports have won the 4 Cox Plate since Winks, haven't they? First run in Australia. I thought everyone was starting to point to him.
Moral?
I'm no judge. But I'm just saying.
Is this your top pick?
Starting to point to him. Well, if you're trying to pick between Zaki and Animo and this and that and Thunderstruck and all this, or you keep it simple and say, well, the fresh blood can handle them.
The DF.
Yeah, different form.
It's called the still life, El Bogadon.
Means the still life.
The still life. What does that even mean? I need to translate what the still life means.
I'm not sure.
Does that mean you just sit still? So it's like DK on every race except for maidens?
I reckon that horse is going to scoot around the valley. Going to love it compared to those. And the thing, he ran second of the thing. It ran second in the Arc or something, didn't he? It's not bad. That's pretty good form.
Very
if you want to look
fit.
at DF.
As long as he's going to be in the first 4, you reckon?
Yeah. He said you can put him anywhere. You can put him anywhere and he'll stick.
Well, what's Ollie going to do, though? Mr. Put him anywhere. Ollie loves the coffin.
Well, he won't get to the coffin.
He loves going back.
It's not impossible. Does Jamie come out humming and hawing here or what?
On Zaki. I think they finally take the handbrake off Zaki. I think obviously it's a Cox Plate, going to be stronger tempo. I think it's going to suit that runner more. I'm worried about the inside surface being completely cactus.
She might have to steer off. But yeah, just one more on El Bogadon. I've only first started thinking about him when we asked Trav about him the other day on the stream. And Trav said, I didn't even consider. And then I went and looking at him because I was going to pot him. Went looking at him and now he's his pick. Has he changed his mind or is he incentive? That's what didn't he say that's good?
Yes, he did. He did say that on Saturday.
He said that was his pick. So that's when I started. Now we got now a bloke who knows what he's talking about with these imports and futures markets and everything is saying the DF might be the go here.
Nico?
Yeah, the more I looked at the race and sort of the people I talked to about the international sort of figures and that, he doesn't seem like he has the ratings of a few of the others that have come over here previously and won it. So I think he's going to have to improve off what he's doing over there to sort of beat a few of these. No surprise here. I'm with my blue boyfriend, Animo. I think it's definitely his race to lose. I think if they couldn't beat him the other day in the Caulfield Stakes, they all had the run at 1800. He was sort of only third up there. It's going to be tough going beating him here. He handled the Valley fine last year in the Cox Plate. Probably stiff not to win it, really. And I think he's getting out towards the backward price. I thought 220 is probably bang on, and he's getting out to sort of 240 now. The market keeps trending that way. Do you see 260, 270? I'd be thinking it's him or Zaki that win it. Zaki does have everything kind of in his favour with the wet track coming and potential that he leads this race with Alligator Blood maybe taking his sit out to 2,000. I'm not 100% sure there. I think Gold Trip's a good place chance. Market's come for him 21 into 14, but it's Animo's race to lose. I couldn't really find a different angle but to find him. If I had to have a bet in the race, it'd be on him.
Okay, so we all agree that Zaki's a winning chance. What about your man, Assaulter from Malta? I'm thunderstruck. Does he give him any chance? Well, you don't know yet?
He can't win. How can he win?
I think he struggles with, especially with the draw now.
He can't win.
Alligator Blood, your horse?
He can win, but she's got to kick up, and he's probably got to end up on its back.
The wetter the track, the worse his chance, though.
Oh yeah, well, it's more testing for all of them, but I think that hurts all of them. I think that probably brings the wet brings DK's horse, which
Mr. Brightside.
It's easy to find because, like you say, if you say it's all crap, like we're talking Caulfield Cup form, all the lead up wait for age form. Yeah, I think it's a great angle. $7.50. That's the problem. Who's the next one? Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside is bred to absolutely swim, and it's a winner at the Moonee Valley.
It can swim, but what about the last 450 metres? Where does it swim there? You can swim for a mile, but unfortunately, there's still a bend to go. I actually hope that Law of Indices just absolutely trots in, and you have 200 on it just in case, and forget to submit the bet.
I've been doing it a bit lately. It's a non-submit button.
You can't back Animo. Like it's just $2.40. Well, you can, but you can find a $2.40 chance. It's a much better bet in 4,000 other races on the day. Zaki can win because it's going to be in the right spot and nothing may run past it. And that's probably the sort of race. It's a scary Cox Plate when there's nothing I can see that's like a specialist 2,000 metre horse.
I think one of the best setups here is, I thought, Gold Trip. Well, what race is it in? Yeah, so it's finally got blinkers on. The Cox Plate, Gold Trip.
Has it got blinkers on its feet?
I think it's a knockout.
Yeah,
chance.
If it's wet, it's got some hope.
And because testing, he wants it really testing, which I heard Ma say he's very similar profile, form, everything to Sir Dragonet. He said, I didn't think Sir Dragonet was sharp enough to win a Cox Plate. Then they want to tear it on from the 1,000 on a testing wettish track, and it brought him into the race.
Yeah, he's going to need everything in his favour.
So he's going to need that sort of setup.
I think he's not a bad place chance, but
it's a good chance of getting that too.
They're all going to be knocking up late. He's going to stick, isn't he?
You definitely can't pen it. You definitely can't. Definitely can't. It's one of the few.
Isn't Animo the 2,000 metre horse? Like, he's won the Might and Power. He ran second in the Cox Plate last year. Probably should have won. Bolted in the Rosehill Guineas. The only bad run at 2,000 is the Queen Elizabeth. Like, this is the only bad run of his career.
I think opposite to you. I think he doesn't. I think he handled the Valley horrifically last year. Like, he tried to pull into the outside, and the horse said no, so he went back inside. I think if he's got to come around him,
he didn't say no. There was no run.
I've never seen him handle Melbourne Way ever in any race, except for the Blue Diamond when you blokes were on for the lot.
Yeah, that was fun. If he doesn't handle it, he's just better than him, isn't he?
He is, but he's got to handle it, and I don't think he will. He can win. I'm 100% he can win, but $2.40 is just seems insanity to me for a horse that doesn't really like going that way.
I could see the market heavily coming for Gold Trip. Law of Indices, I think that's the wet track will kill him. Young Werther will just be out there for a Melbourne Cup trial and a look. He's probably going to be the big short, and if he runs a bolting race, D Lane rides a Valley as good as anyone. Maximal wants a dry track. We've talked enough about Animo, Profondo, Chad. Profondo.
I do.
Come on, take it off Richard Litt, please.
You were saying that's madness. It just gets in the way. You do have your Deauville Legend button ready to push if El Bogga Wogga Wong bloody looms up though, because it will start short in the Melbourne Cup if this horse wins the Cox Plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Went past it like it was stuck to the fence. And then obviously DK's little special selection. It's got a bit of floating artists about this. When DK chimed in for that in the Melbourne Cup, he had a full head of steam. It's finally DK's got a bit of a half horn for a Group 1. I love it. DK.
Is that why he liked Benno in the Group 1 last week? Because it was the closest thing to a mate that's ever been in a Group 1. He would have been on that thing of Ron Quidrone, but 50 years ago. So it was a Star of Century that won the Group 1 in Sydney as a mate.
Well, it's quite interesting. Like, Maximal's only won one. Young Werther has only won one race, and then Gold Trip's only won one race.
So, Gold Trip's only won one race. Holy heck!
Hey, this would be it's incredible, really.
It's a great race. It's actually very similar to some of the races.
It's a great race. That's right. You can't. It's a great race. It's always a great race.
Not a betting race from my perspective, but it's a great race.
Gold Trip's a sneaky for me. I love the setup, and I think the big teams will hammer it. I think that's it for the Cox Plate. So if you want more of Nico's action, make sure you jump in the shop and check out his Manny Yard Mail. He'll give you the final thoughts. And just on that, you did a complete reversal from the yard, Nico, last week, and found Gold Trip out of the yard, and Nelly got the chocolates. What happened there?
He fell into the...
I'm telling you, it looked like a different horse compared to the Turnbull. Looked outstanding in the Caulfield Cup. You can tell in those sort of races, you can say, oh, this is a weight for age horse, and the rest of these are handicappers. He just looked like the weight for age horse, and he carried the weight of a weight for age horse, didn't he? That's probably what's got him beat. But yeah, he'll look outstanding again there on Saturday. I wouldn't be shocked if he improved again. He's just coming into his own, that horse.
Is it when the jockey legs up and you see the shine of the Australian bloodstock colours reflecting off the dapples? Is that when you really elevate the horses to the next level?
Yeah. Max bet when that happens.
He loves blue, doesn't he? He loves Godolphin. He loves it. Loves all that. Anything in blue.
He should get, if he gets the Jamie Lovett tufted hair out the front. if he's going to have a big bet, we really want to put one on the line. Nico's got to get the Jamie Lovett haircut.
Big listener of the show, Jamie. So a bit of a shout out to Jamie. He's not. So you say. Oh, good luck to everyone. The connections. And I'll tell you what, one of the owners of Gold Trip said that he'd come up and do come up and if you agreed that Gold Trip was no chance, he said he'd shave your head live on air.
In the Cox Plate?
Yeah, if Gold Trip won it.
Mate.
He'd bring the Cox Plate in and he'd shave your head.
No, whatever. They're making money. Good luck to them. They ran second last week. They better get used to it.
Let's have a look at another race. Let's go look at Randwick. Got to steer the ship here. Race 7.
Saturday?
Race 7 Saturday here. We've got the Ken Callander and Maxi Presnell, two of the greats there. We've got Golden Mile favourite here, $1.75. Wow, that looks short to my eye.
What is this race? What was this race?
I've got no idea what it was. Nico, do you know what it was?
It was the Bondi, wasn't it?
Is it?
No,
This
it's- I
is worth
think
$1
it's
million,
the
is it?
It's the new Bondi.
Wow.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Wow, rebadged already. $1.75 Golden Mile, Communist $4.80, Flag of Honour $8, a lot more love, 9, Burgunder $18, Basquay 20, Brosnan 21, Token Capitalist $71. This is insane. What's this worth?
You know,
2
the
million?
sickest thing is,
What?
DK's done his balls on Token Capitalist. It went for 1 meter and fell off the other day, and he doesn't even remember the name. He would not have even remembered if I just didn't remind him.
Spot on. You could say, what was the name of that thing? I had no idea.
Absolutely.
Get out a couple. We're going to, I think Walt's going outside the square here, and Burgunder. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a testing 1600. It's going to be wet in Sydney again, and we're going back to, I think it was April, early in the year, and Burgunder is third on the outside in the white sleeves. Gay bot horse.
So no point showing the last start replay. It was on that. It was the last
Even
race that
forgive.
before the meeting was called off when they were told to stay away from the fence or whatever. So
Behind Opal Ridge.
yeah, this was second start in a race. Just showed really good fight, and I think this is on a track that's not insanity. This is what this horse is all about. He came back. He ran quite well first up off in an unsuitable race. I think it was 12:50 or something around Canterbury. Then he just penned that run the other day. Blinkers on. I just think he's worth the risk. Golden Mile. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Obviously, the race is worth quite a bit of money. Unfortunately, I think he does tag the 2 leaders across and could end up right behind the speed. I did like it when I first saw that he was drawn wide, Golden Mile, that he might be, pretty vulnerable. But there is a chance that Bowman will just suck straight across with Token Capitalist and Burgunder. So that's not ideal, but I just much rather find an angle away from Golden Mile on what could be a testing surface over the mile. He showed the other day that this is definitely his outer limit, I think, of distance. And while he's entitled to be favourite, and I can poke holes in sort of communist Flag of Honour. I think, having a little spec on Burgunder each way is a much better option than trying to play in the top end of the market here.
Horse like Brosnan.
Well, obviously he's had a setback, I believe. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming that he was on his way to a spring champion derby sort of preparation, and now he shows up here, and I think he was scratched in between. So I'm not sure what happened with Brosnan, but he was shaping up okay, as from a derby perspective.
He was the sort of, I haven't had a good look at it, but if I see the $1.75 and I want to start playing around the favourite,
Start flinching. You start flinching $1.75 that you seems to be short.
Blue horse, one away. Nico?
I just took note of one thing in this race, that B Shin's gone up to Sydney to ride on Saturday. So if anyone's getting sort of the best out of a horse on Saturday, it's going to be B Shin. He is absolutely flying.
Yeah, it's the next race after that one is the one he's going up for. Hope he salutes.
Interesting. So we'll Token Capitalist. We might get DK's opinion on that through the Discord chat tomorrow. Let him give him some time to do the race and get his thoughts on that one. Spring champion.
Yeah, it sprung out of the gates that day like a gazelle.
Yeah.
Last start.
Burgunder is the tip there. $18 at TopSport. So have a little shekel on that and pray that's not absolutely.
Yeah, 1 by 44. I'd be suggesting is the option there. The
44
each play.
44 wants the place on the win. Good play. The Spring Champion Stakes, a cracker here. Elliptical, $4.20 in from $4.60. Williamsburg, $4.80. She's extreme. Glenn's got this one, $5.50. Sharp and Smart, $6. Primido, $8. Renaissance Woman, $11. Matcha Latte, oh dear, $12. Conqueror, $26. And then Manzois, $26. And that'll about do us. Let's have a look at Primido here. And this is a not a bad. Ooh.
Yeah,
We're going to elliptical first.
Elliptical. So
my
back
mistake.
in the red with the blinkers, isn't it? Behind, sort of tracking up behind the white. Golden Miles just outside it. So the different shots that sort of showed that this horse was a little bit more held up than maybe it appeared here. And once it sees daylight late, really starts to build its revs. Does look like 2,000 metres is certainly more up its alley. Very happy that Ostapenko down the outside didn't accept in this race. You've just got to draw a line to work out whether that's the right lead up form or not. Obviously, it wasn't the vintage guineas, pretty bunch margins. Time wasn't exciting. So, but the horse is lightly raced and on the upward spiral.
Looks like he'll do 2,000, right?
Yeah, and when one and Shin, like you're saying, Shin absolutely is a perfect rider for this sort of horse. He'll have sort of a pair closer without bustling it early. He'll he'll let it relax and save something for the back end.
The next replay we're going to have a look at is Primido taking on the older horses. Obviously, Cascadian is a convincing winner here, but there's Primido in the white with the purple, and you got big old tough Just Folk, one of mine, just going past him there.
So this horse is a horse I've been absolutely in love with. I wish it was going to get a track like this on Saturday. You knew it would be. Would be a track that had a bit of firmness about it. I just love this lead-up form compared to the 3-year-old form. At least he's gone. Cascadian's absolutely flying. Like you say, Just Folk, there's not too many more honest horses around than it. And I also love the 7-day backup. This train is known to be a little bit soft on them. So I think he made the right choice, missing the mile race, going to the 1800 7-day backup and hard run against older horses. I find it hard to believe that horse is not favourite, to be fair. I just think that's well and truly the right lead-up form. His runs, before that were fine over unsuitable distances, just couldn't quicken with the sharper horses. And now that he's out to 2,000 metres, I think this is well and truly the horse to beat, Primido.
I'd sort of agree. I think the race is sort of in two chances there. Nico, anything?
Yeah, I thought Primido was good last start. I probably would have loved that to be like 14 days between runs. I know Walt's saying they may be a bit soft on him, but they did go like 16 and a half lengths above to the 600 on punting form. It was a very fast on race, and I thought there may be a chance he's flat, but he might have needed it as well. Not really sure. I don't know. I can't really get Sharp and Smart out of my mind. Like I know he probably hasn't set the world on fire in his runs this prep, but I thought his win in the climbing was, solid enough. Travelled into the race pretty well. I think he's just looking for 2,000 very quickly. This preparation gets the visors on. Maybe hit the front last start with the blinkers on and sort of didn't realise where the other horses were. That can sort of happen when the blinkers are on. So, I couldn't sort of find an angle in this race, to be honest. I thought there was, Primido, Elliptical, Sharp and Smart. They're all there, aren't they?
Melbourne form, mate. What about Elliptical, surely? Like, I saw a tweet. There was a tweet.
Is the Guineas any good, though? Like, dead set. We're getting Golden Mile beating the other race.
Like, someone put a tweet the other day, and if I could like it 100 times, I would have. Someone said, is SF, Sydney form, even a thing anymore? Like, because Melbourne horses like Giga Kick and all this, Giga Kick comes up and all the Melbourne horses are going up there winning everything, and so Elliptical will go up there and he'll win as well.
So there's one, Giga Kick. What was the other? What was the other one that made up to everything? Hang on, I'll give you a minute.
Remember now.
Jacquino.
Jacquino, sorry.
Jacquino,
two.
Yeah.
Good, yeah, no worries. And so what Brisbane form is it instead of Sydney form now? Because Brisbane horses win all your races, so...
Well, Brisbane and Melbourne form are dominating most things at the moment. I think DK's got a point. And tell you what, DK stepped outside of his comfort zone. He was obviously on Elliptical. There was some labour pains. There was kicking and screaming in our Bet Doctor chat.
Day.
He definitely backed Elliptical.
Yeah, so was I. This race, you've got to make the decision. Is the Caulfield Guineas form the right form? Is the Primido form, a different form, the right form? Or is the Brisbane Winter and then coming back form of Sharp and Smart and Matcha Latte, and then you throw in Cheese Extreme as well? But how is Matcha Latte $13 if Sharp and Smart's $6? Like I would say...
The wrong prices around.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how the heck it could possibly beat at home on their last runs. Probably if Tommy Sherry was... replaced here with someone else, I'd be, supremely confident that Matcha Latte beats home Sharp and Smart no matter what happens. But, it's just an added thing. Then you've got Williamsburg who's going to potter around out the back, and how's he second favourite? It's like 3 or 4 different people could price this market
completely different,
and
then like Glyn on,
astronomically differently. Yeah, it's a really interesting race. I don't think the market's made it a great betting race, but there's many different angles to this race, so it's another good race to watch, hard race to bet it. But if you are going to unload on Primido and hold on.
Responsible.
1/44 again.
Yeah, no, actually, well, I'm a bit. I've got one of you. I've not bet into too many races early. I'm on Elliptical at like 20s, Primido at 25s, and Manzoice actually down the bottom, who I don't think's out of it. Just had a horrible setup. I think hasn't had a run for about 3 or 4 weeks, and Willie Pike Gate 12 doesn't inspire huge confidence, and I'll probably have something on Matcha Latte, and the rest will go around losers.
Donny's best up next. Let's see what he likes at Doomben.
G'day, boys. Donny here with this weekend's best bets. We're going to Noonan. It's going to be extremely heavy, so I found an absolute doozy wet tracker. Race 7, number 1, Tappy's Lad, is a New Zealand horse that has won in absolute bog conditions in New Zealand. It's on the 7-day backup from last weekend at Eagle Farm where it raced off the rail on an inside day. Angela Jones, the gun apprentice, takes over. It'll roll forward. It's the fittest horse in the race. It'll be the one left standing if the races go ahead. At $11, it's a great each-way bet. I think it should be favourite. So that's race 7, number 1, Tappy's Lad. Then we go to race 8, Proper Rogue. It's a gunwork tracker from the Gollan stable. This one will get back a little bit, but it handles the conditions. If they're able to make ground down the middle of the track, this horse is the one. It's the class horse in the field, and I think it'll win as well. So that's race 8, Proper Rogue. The best bet, race 7, number 1, Tappy's Lad, each way. Good luck, gents.
Tell you what, Donny's best is now sponsored by jwalterpricing.com.au. He's there saying Tappy's won, $11 chance should just be favourite. How much time are you spending with Donny?
If the races are on, what's going on? What's going on? Is there a monsoon coming or something?
Yeah, it's going to be. We're mimicking their weather. So up here, like it has been raining heavily for the last 24 hours. I don't know where you've been, Walt. Obviously smoking something.
Has not
you've
rained.
Been at the jungle drums.
Has not rained.
What?
What are you talking about? Rain?
Absolutely, it's not stopped here.
No rain. I played tennis yesterday. No rain. What are you talking about? You've been smoking the good stuff.
It must be a long way between. Where are you?
Up the road.
Jesus.
Not telling you where I am. You might lob on the front door. One person I know won't. DK. He wouldn't cross the street to say hello to me.
I wouldn't. I'm not going to sit and watch him eat 2 desserts ever again either. That was just that was piggery. That was piggery.
Piggery.
Like big meal. He had 3 courses, then ordered 2 sweets, not 1, 2, and the 2
You
bigger
had
sweets.
2 bottles of red while I was eating my 2 sweets. So what are you talking about?
How's this? Gold Coast forecast. Good to see Walt just looks ahead. 35 up to 35 mil Friday, 45 Saturday, 35 Sunday. That's the Gold
I've just looked
Coast.
up the Dungeon weather report. No rain for the rest of the week. Yeah, no, I'll be sweet.
And then 15 today at Brisbane, 35, 40, 25. So it's basically the same.
Why would they not race? What the heck?
Do you look at the weather before you do the form?
I don't do the form up here. You don't need to. I don't need to. There's 2 chances.
Let's have a look at TopSport Steamers. We're not getting any smarter here. Moonee Valley Saturday. Race 2, number 4, Ashford Street, $600 to $8 price. Hasn't moved. Nico, you want the bet or not?
Wet tracker. Yep.
Happy with it?
Yep. You could take that for sure.
Race 9, number 5. This is Walt's 500 at 26 Moanga. Annabelle. A bit of hot water.
It's hard to knock any roughie in the Cox Plate this year. It's just hard. Could be the charge of the Light Brigade.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said about Moanga. By not slagging it off.
You could find better ways to spend 500 in the Cox Plate.
You won't, mate. You got 500 credit with Scoot, and you still haven't spent it, so you must be airborne. Don't worry about it. You. This 500 is nothing to you.
Have you found a car, Nico?
Yeah, I finally got a car. So,
did you get the number plates, whatever that horse was called last week, the 50s chance?
Thank Christ you got a car, because the flood victims, I tell you what, all of a sudden getting a car's got a gazillion times worse. You just had about 8 float down the street in Maribyrnong, let alone the country. Good luck getting a car out of Victoria, or just getting a car in general. Adelaide race 2, number 14, second to none. I haven't had a look at this race yet. Anyone squeeze it?
I'll be seeing what Kelton says there. That's a maiden, that race. That is a 1,200-metre maiden.
On a Saturday?
So I'm pretty sure it's got 2 maidens to start. That was the old trick in the old days. G. Roberts used to tell me when Smurden had him set him up in the old days, or someone set your horse up, set it up for Morphettville on Melbourne Cup Day. They run 3 maidens or 4 maidens, and as Scoot said, all these million bets coming through in the Melbourne Cup, you're going to stick something through, you get on. The bookies are all going, bet, and they bet huge on these maidens when they normally would only bet, small.
That was the days before the corporates had a moat around their system and guard and holy shit, and crocodiles and everything. Oh my God.
It's not bad though. Like, imagine all the bookies that just got put up the price and they got no idea and out the sticks. Great.
Yeah.
Get blokes everywhere on the dog and bone. Sting. But
I'd have to go through how it was in the old days. The young punters wouldn't believe, wouldn't believe how the bookies used to put up the prices off the tote. Like so what's the tote? What the early totes were, and then if it's $13 on the tote, they put up 10. If it's like one bookie, the bookie supervisor would come past and say, right, Nico, you're up on race 1, Scoot race 2, Walt race 3, DK race 1. No one had done any form. Bookies don't do form. So they just put them up off the tote, and then you say, hello. You just pray one, you find one, and it's been hidden away. Please go up a big on the tote, because you knew if it goes up double figures on the tote, you're going to get $8 or $9.
Randwick race 10, number 3, acquitted, $250 at 18 is this one. You probably haven't even Clemenceau, Bacchanalia, Belarus, Samut.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to just plead the 5th there. I'm not going to say no at any horse at whatever price that is, but I think it's a pretty good horse, Moot.
Outstanding. All right, so there's plenty of action. Head to littlebirdie.tv or our shop, and you'll get set there. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.